upon when NBA games count, not in preseason. Miami, AP, there is no NBA mandate urging teams to not rest players in the preseason. Good thing. The dog days of the exhibition schedule have arrived, with plenty of stars sitting out Monday night's games. Among those getting the night off to rest, Boston stars Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, and Al Horford, Miami's Goran Dragic and the Orlando trio of Elfrid Payton, Gordon, and Bismack Biyombo. Indiana rested a half-dozen players, as did Sacramento, including Vince Carter, George Hill, and Zach Randolph. It's hard to play 14 guys, Kings coach Dave Joerger said. Houston's Chris Paul didn't play in New York because of a right shoulder contusion, the Knicks' Kristaps Porzingis, hip, and Frank Ntilikina, knee, sat out that same game with soreness. Detroit's Avery Bradley was sidelined by a turned ankle, and Orlando's Evan Fournier, ankle, and Terrence Ross, hamstring, also didn't play because of minor injuries. Sacramento's De'Aaron Fox was out with a sore back. When the regular season starts next week, resting players who are healthy enough to play will be officially frowned upon by a new NBA policy. But for now, it just makes sense for clubs to either limit minutes or not take unnecessary risks. That being said, teams are still working. Joerger knows his team needs a day off, but the Kings are practicing Tuesday anyway. "We have way too much stuff to do, and not just for opening night," Joerger said. In Dragic's case, Miami is being smart since he played for 2 months this summer, helping Slovenia win the European Championship and returning to Miami just 2 days before the first practice of training camp. He hasn't played much in the preseason. "This is all relatively part of the plan I had sketched out," Heat coach Erik Spoelstra said. "I wanted him to be in training camp, and he really wanted to be there too, just to establish the right tone out of camp. We want to try to strike that balance of keeping him in shape and making sure he's peaking for the first game, not going the other way. I think we're headed that way." Celtics coach Brad Stevens said the lineup he went with Monday allows him to take a good look at what will be Boston's second unit. "I feel really good about where we are, considering we're 13 days in," Stevens said. "I don't think we're by any means a finished product, and I think we can get better." Rockets 117, Knicks 95. James Harden had 36 points, 11 assists and 9 rebounds, and Houston made 22 three-pointers while remaining unbeaten and keeping New York winless in the preseason. The teams tried during the off-season to work out a trade for Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks ended up sending him to Oklahoma City, though the Rockets appear to still have plenty of firepower. Tim Hardaway Jr. scored 21 points for the Knicks. Rockets: Houston has made at least 22 three-pointers in all 3 games. No team has ever had 3 straight games with 20 or more in the regular season. Clint Capela had 19 points and 9 rebounds, and Eric Gordon added 18 points. Dragic played 3 minutes, getting 3 points. Knicks: Michael Beasley scored 17 points before leaving with a bruised left elbow. He landed hard on a drive to the basket in the third quarter. Damian Dotson also had 17 for New York. Up next, Houston, 3-0, visits Memphis on Wednesday. New York, 0-4, hosts Washington on Friday. Pistons 107, Pacers 97. Detroit outscored Indiana 30-15 from the three-point line, and had a 26-11 edge in points off turnovers. Ish Smith, Reggie Jackson and Boban Marjanovic had 14 points apiece for the Pistons. Damian Wilkins led Indiana with 14 off the bench, shooting 5 for 6 and making both of his three-point tries. Pacers: Indiana led by 16 in the second quarter, but was outscored 71-47 in the final 25 minutes. Miles Turner, Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis and Lance Stevenson all didn't play. Al Jefferson had 12 points on 6 for 14 shooting. Pistons: Smith also had 9 assists. Detroit was plus 25 in Henry Ellison's 28 minutes. Anthony Tolliver and Reggie Bullock each scored 12 for the Pistons. Up next, Indiana, 2-1, hosts Maccabi Haifa on Tuesday. Detroit, 2-1, visits Toronto on Tuesday. Underscore. Celtics 113, 76 ERS 96. Hours after Philadelphia and Joel Embiid agreed on a 5-year extension worth $148 million, Boston had no trouble with the 76ers and led wire-to-wire. Semi Ojeleye scored 16 for Boston, which led by as many as 34. Ben Simmons scored 15 for the 76ers, though missed 7 of his 10 free throws. Celtics, Aaron Baines sprained his left knee in the first half. Jaylen Brown scored 12 for the Celtics, who got 15 apiece from Terry Rozier and Abdel Nader. 76 ERS, Furkan Korkmaz scored 13 and number 1 overall pick Markelle Fultz added 12. The 76ers shot 28% from three-point range and 52% from the foul line. Up next, Boston, 3-0-2-1, visits Charlotte on Wednesday. Philadelphia, 1-2-0-3, plays Brooklyn on Wednesday in Uniondale, New York. Underscore. Heat 109, Hornets 106. Justice Winslow's layup with 23.7 seconds left put Miami ahead for good, as the Heat rallied in the final minutes. Josh Richardson and Tyler Johnson each scored 18 for Miami, which got 13 from Dion Waiters and 11 points and 11 rebounds from Hassan Whiteside. Malik Monk scored 19 and Dwight Howard had 16 for Charlotte. Hornets, All-Star guard Kemba Walker left early in the third quarter after getting hit in the face, and Jeremy Lamb left with groin soreness. Charlotte had a 29-14 edge in points off turnovers, but was 5 for 26 from three-point range. Heat, James Johnson was called for a flagrant one after a hard foul on Howard in the third quarter. The two slapped hands afterward. Clearly without animosity. The rookie learning curve for Bam Adebayo continued, after he had 3 fouls in 3 first-half minutes and the Heat were outscored by 10 in that stretch. Up next, Miami, 2-2, hosts Washington on Wednesday. Charlotte, 1-2, hosts Boston on Wednesday. Underscore. Hawks 100, Grizzlies 88. Dennis Schroeder scored 21 points to lead Atlanta, which got 15 from Malcolm Delaney. James Ennis scored 14 to lead Memphis. Grizzlies, Memphis was only 4 for 22 from three-point range. Marc Gasol had 13 rebounds. Hawks, rookie John Collins got cut beneath his right eye, then returned and led the Hawks with 8 rebounds. Atlanta was plus 21 in DeAndre Bembry's 20 minutes. The game was at Georgia Tech because of renovations at the arena where the Hawks play. Up next, Memphis, 2-1, hosts Houston on Wednesday. Atlanta, 2-2, hosts Dallas on Thursday at Georgia Tech.